Imagine this, in the dim glow of a rainy afternoon, Elena Vos, the billionaire CEO whose empire spanned continents, stood frozen in her penthouse suite, clutching an old, faded photograph and a crumpled note that read, "Goodbye, my love. Forgive me for what I must do." Her hands trembled as tears blurred the image of a younger man holding a tiny baby, a man whose face she had just woken up next to that very morning. How could one night unravel everything she thought she knew about her heart? Stick around to the end of this story, and if it touches you as much as it moved me to write it, hit that like button and subscribe for more tales of love, loss, and redemption that remind us we're all just one unexpected moment away from changing our lives forever. Elena Vos had built her fortune from nothing, a tech visionary who turned a garage startup into a global powerhouse. At 38, she was the epitome of success. Sharp suits, private jets, and a schedule that left no room for vulnerability. But beneath the polished exterior was a woman who had long ago buried her dreams of family under layers of ambition. She hadn't dated in years, convinced that love was a distraction she couldn't afford. That all changed on a stormy Friday evening in New York City, when her limo broke down outside a cozy diner in Brooklyn. Cursing the weather and her luck, Elena ducked inside to wait for her driver. The place was humble, filled with the aroma of fresh coffee and pancakes, a far cry from the Michelin-starred restaurants she frequented. At the counter sat Marcus Hale, a 35-year-old single dad with kind eyes and a weary smile. He was there with his 6-year-old daughter, Lily, who was giggling over a coloring book while he nursed a black coffee. Marcus worked as a mechanic by day and a freelance artist by night, scraping by after his wife's tragic death in a car accident 3 years earlier. Lily was his world, a bright spark in his otherwise routine life of school drop-offs and late-night sketches. Their eyes met when Elena ordered a tea to warm up. "Rough night?" Marcus asked, his voice warm like the steam rising from his mug. She nodded, surprised by how easily conversation flowed. They talked about the rain, then about Lily's drawings. She was proudly showing off a picture of a rainbow unicorn. Before Elena knew it, she was laughing, really laughing, for the first that she could remember. Marcus shared stories of his late wife, Sarah, how she'd been his high school sweetheart, and how raising Lily alone felt like both a blessing and a burden. Elena opened up too, admitting how empty her success felt sometimes, like climbing a mountain only to find no view at the top. As the storm raged on, the diner emptied, and somehow, they ended up sharing a booth. Lily fell asleep on Marcus's lap, her tiny hand clutching his shirt. Elena felt a pull she couldn't explain, a mix of envy and longing for the simple, heartfelt life he described. When her driver finally arrived, Marcus offered to walk her out under his umbrella. In the pouring rain, their goodbye lingered, turning into a kiss that surprised them both. "Come home with me," he whispered, and against every logical instinct, she did. That night in Marcus's modest apartment was unlike anything Elena had experienced. It wasn't just passion, it was connection. They talked until dawn, sharing secrets and dreams. Marcus showed her his art studio, filled with paintings of Sarah and Lily, each stroke a testament to his enduring love and grief. Elena confessed her fears of intimacy, how her parents' bitter divorce had made her build walls higher than her skyscrapers. For the first time, she felt seen, not as a billionaire but as a woman yearning for more. As they lay tangled in sheets, Lily's soft snores from the next room reminded them of the fragility of it all. It was raw, emotional, and over too soon. The next morning, Elena woke to the smell of pancakes. Marcus was in the kitchen with Lily, flipping batter while she set the table. It was domestic bliss, something Elena had never imagined for herself. But as she sipped coffee, her phone buzzed relentlessly, board meetings, stock alerts, the empire demanding her return. She excused herself to freshen up in the bathroom, where an old shoebox caught her eye on a shelf. Curiosity got the better of her. She peeked inside, expecting mementos, but what she found shattered her world. There, among faded letters and trinkets, was a photograph of a young Marcus, barely out of his teens, holding a newborn baby, not Lily, but another child. The baby's face was tiny, innocent, and the back of the photo was dated 18 years ago. Tucked beside it was a note in elegant handwriting, "Goodbye, my love. Forgive me for what I must do. Our son deserves a better life than we can give him now. One day, perhaps we'll find our way back." Elena's heart stopped. The handwriting was her mother's. The date matched her own adoption records. And the baby in the photo looked just like her childhood pictures. Reeling, Elena confronted Marcus in the kitchen. "Who is this?" she demanded, holding up the photo. His face paled as recognition dawned. That's our son," he stammered. "Your son? With who?" Lily looked up confused, but Marcus sent her to her room gently. Then, the truth poured out. 18 years ago, Marcus had been in love with a woman named Emily, a struggling artist like him. They were young, broke, and terrified when she got pregnant. Emily, fearing they couldn't provide for the baby, chose adoption without telling him until it was done. She left the note and vanished, breaking his heart. Marcus searched for years but found nothing. He moved on, met Sarah, had Lily, but never forgot. Elena sank to the floor, tears streaming. "Emily is my mother," she whispered. "She gave me up for adoption. I was that baby. The pieces fit." Her adoptive parents had told her she was born in the same city, and her biological mother's name was Emily. Marcus pulled out more items, a locket Emily had left, which matched one Elena wore, a family heirloom from her adoptive family. The note's words echoed in her mind, a goodbye that had haunted her subconscious all her life. Shock turned to anger. Why hadn't her mother fought for her? Why had Marcus given up the search? But as they talked through the pain, layers peeled back. Marcus explained his youth, his poverty, how he'd regretted not being stronger. Elena shared her loneliness, the drive that made her a billionaire but left her isolated. Lily, peeking in, hugged them both, her innocence bridging the gap. "Are you my big sister?" she asked, wide-eyed. The challenges were immense. Elena grappled with betrayal. Her mother had abandoned her, and now fate had brought her to her father's door in the most unexpected way. Marcus faced guilt, wondering if he could have changed things. They navigated awkward family dynamics, introducing Lily to this new reality, dealing with Elena's high-profile life clashing with Marcus's simple one. Paparazzi caught wind of her mystery man, turning their reunion into a media frenzy. Elena's board questioned her focus, threatening her position. Marcus worried about uprooting Lily. But through it all, they built bridges. Elena hired investigators to find Emily, discovering she had passed away years ago from illness, leaving a letter for her lost child. "I never stopped loving you. I hope you found the life I couldn't give." The words healed old wounds. Marcus and Elena attended therapy, turning raw emotions into understanding. Elena stepped back from her CEO role, delegating to focus on family. She funded art programs in Marcus's name, blending their worlds. Lily gained a sister, and Elena found the roots she'd always craved. Months later, as they stood together at Sarah's grave, sharing stories, Elena realized this wasn't just reunion, it was redemption. The night that started as a fleeting escape had rewritten their destinies. Challenges resolved not with grand gestures but quiet moments, family dinners, art sessions where Marcus taught Elena to paint, Lily's laughter filling the voids. In the end, Elena looked back at that rainy night as the storm that cleared her skies. Life, she learned, wasn't about building empires alone but sharing them with those who matter. If this story of unexpected love and family found its way to your heart, remember, sometimes goodbye is just the beginning of hello. Like this video if it inspired you, and subscribe for more stories that prove no matter how far we stray, love always finds a way home.